Level 1. The guy who held the door. You're 22 holding a door open for a group of girls walking into a house party. Not one of them says thank you. They look through you like you're part of the wall. You hold it 40 seconds, smiling. For no one. Then Marcus strolls up, empty-handed, lets the door swing back at a girl, and she laughs and grabs his arm. And Marcus looks right at you, loud enough for the room, and goes, "Brother, were you the coat check?" Everybody laughs, including her. You laugh too because the other option is crying at a party. Later you text the one girl who talked to you. "Scene 9:14 p.m. No reply. You check that timestamp 11 times like it's going to change. It doesn't. But here's the part nobody tells you. That same Marcus who called you the coat check is one day going to wait in a line just to talk to you. And it's going to feel like nothing. You become the door. The one everybody wants through. The walk home is where it starts. The question is what it turns you into. In 15 years, 200 women will reorganize their entire lives around a single text from you. Level 2. At least you're trying. 6 months later, a girl at the gym smiles at you, and it's the wrong smile. It's the one you give a dog that just learned to sit. Good for you. Not, I want you. But you take it. You take it like oxygen, because for 22 years you were a 404 error, a page that doesn't load, and now, finally, you're a loading screen. Something is happening. It's just happening at the speed of a glacier. And you earned this glacier. 12 pounds gone. Clothes that fit your body instead of apologizing for it. A haircut that cost more than your shoes, which the barber explained to you like foreign policy. You stopped being the thing the eye skips over. Now the eye lands registers person and keeps moving. That's the whole upgrade. From invisible to briefly noted, you start photographing your meals. You learn what maintenance calories means and bring it up at parties where nobody asked. You become slightly insufferable, and you have never been happier because for the first time in your life, the work is actually working, and you will take briefly noted straight to the bank. You get a number, an actual phone number handed to your actual face, and that night you compose the opener like a hostage negotiation. 90 minutes, 6 drafts. You add a haha at the end so you don't seem too eager. Then you stare at the haha, wondering if the haha seems too eager. You send it. She replies. The next day, 1 word, then nothing for a while. Then the day after, another word. You're having a conversation at the speed of continental drift, and you tell yourself she's just busy. She's not busy. She's being nice. The exact way you're nice to a telemarketer you don't have the heart to hang up on. You stay on the line, you say you never once say yes. You suggest a date. Scene. And here's how you know you've grown as a man. You check that timestamp 4 times. Not 11. 4. This is the part nobody warns you about. At this level, every woman is your encouraging gym teacher. They're rooting for you the way you root for a contestant who isn't going to win. And the kindness is real. That's what makes it sting. Nobody's being cruel. They're applauding the effort precisely because the effort is all you've got. Then Marcus finds you between sets, clocks the smaller waist, the new shirt, the protein shake you're holding like a trophy, and he gives you the warmest thing he's ever said. Claps you on the back. Respect, man, the grind. That's worse than the coat check. The coat check was contempt. This is pity in a nice coat. He's congratulating you the way you congratulate someone who is obviously losing but trying so hard it would be rude to say so. You finish your workout, then you do a second one, because you've cracked the cruel math of this level. Trying is visible. It earns you a gold star, and a gold star is not a date. You don't want to be cheered for anymore. You want to be chosen. Level 3. The Civic Coupe. A year later, you're at a party, and you hear her friends sum you up in 1 word. Oh, he's so sweet. You smile, because it sounds like a compliment, and you've learned just enough to know it isn't one. Sweet is the word women use for a man they're settling on, not for. It's the participation trophy of adjectives. Nobody ever lost sleep over sweet, because you made it. You're acceptable now, dateable. You are the Honda Civic of men. Reliable, gets her where she needs to go, starts every morning, and absolutely nobody's heart has ever raced pulling up in one. Women date you now. They just don't brag about you. You're the boyfriend. You're not the story she tells over brunch. You've got your first real relationship. She likes you. She's good to you. And she keeps her phone face down on the table every time, a tiny reflex she doesn't notice. And you notice it every single time and you say nothing. Here's the loop you can't stop running. One night you catch the tail end of her on the phone with a friend. He's good to me, she says.
Pause.
I don't know, he's just good to me. And that whole sentence, the I don't know wedged in the middle of it, is a verdict you weren't supposed to hear. Good to me is what you say about a dentist. It is not what you say about a man you can't stop thinking about. So you do what every guy at this level does. You hit the gym at 11 p.m. You attack the weights like they personally said, I don't know. And it fixes nothing, because the problem was never the weights. And somewhere mid-set you know it, and you keep going anyway. Meanwhile, Marcus is dating a girl who is comically out of his league, and you've watched her text him back in seconds. The same text that earn you a scene and a glacier. Same words. Same effort. Wildly different exchange rate. And it lands on you, slow and cold. The message was never the message. The face sending it was the message. So for the first time, you flip it. A girl from before, a maybe, sends you something low effort at midnight, and you leave it, on scene, on purpose. You feel a small, ugly, electric thrill. The thrill of being, for once, the one who didn't reply. You don't love what it says about you. You do it again the next week anyway. And lying there afterward, you let yourself imagine a different version. Not a man women are good to. A man women would follow, reorganize around. A man who walks into a room and the room leans toward him like a floor that isn't level. It's a ridiculous thought for a guy in a Civic. You let yourself have it anyway. Because you found the ceiling of this level, and reliable is it. Reliable is not a compliment. It's a polite way of saying as good as you're going to get. You decide to find out if that's true. Level 4? The ex-girlfriend's nightmare? It happens at a wedding. A woman you have never met crosses the entire room to talk to you. You don't have a word for what's happening, so your body answers first. And you realize, standing there, that you do not know what to do with your hands. You've never had to know. For 20-some years, women showed up in your life only after you'd worked for it. Texted first, planned it, earned it. Nobody has ever just walked over. And now one has, and your hands are two foreign objects hanging off your wrists. So you panic and give her a thumbs up. A thumbs up to a woman who crossed an entire room for you. 2 decades rehearsing this moment, and your body answers with a finger gun and a nod. Because something tipped over. Years of discipline. The skin sorted out, the jaw doing what jaws do when the face gets lean. The clothes finally cut for the frame you built instead of the one you used to hide. You crossed a line you couldn't see from the other side. You feel it before you understand it. Strangers' eyes holding half a second longer than strangers' eyes are supposed to. Half a second. That's the whole difference. That's the entire border between the two countries. Then your phone buzzes. It's her. The he's just good to me one. The verdict from a year ago. And the message says, you look different, good different. You read it twice, not because you're confused, because you want to enjoy it slowly. The read receipt you used to refresh 11 times is a weapon now, and it's pointed the other way. And tonight she's the one watching the timestamp. You don't reply. Not as a strategy. That's the part you'll think about later. The woman at the wedding is funny and warm and clearly interested, and halfway through her telling you something that actually matters to her, you catch yourself doing it. Scanning, half listening, your eyes drifting over her shoulder to the rest of the room taking inventory. The exact thing that was done to you for 2 decades. The thing that made you feel like furniture. You're the one doing it now. And you didn't decide to. It just installed itself. Here's the part that should scare you and doesn't quite. Yet. The ex texts again that night. A second message, warmer, a door left open. And you don't leave her on scene because you're playing a game. You leave her on scene because you genuinely forgot to care. You set the phone down, got distracted, fell asleep. The thing you'd have killed for at 22. Her attention, her wanting. Arrived, and you misplaced it like a gas station receipt. 2 things are true at the same time. You are getting everything you wanted. And it is quietly sanding the empathy off you, 1 half-second glance at a time. Across the wedding, Marcus is standing with a girl he likes, and she's looking past him. At you. And Marcus. Who has had something to say to you at every stage of this? Says nothing. He just watches the look go where it goes. The power moved an inch. You felt it move. And you have no idea, yet, how far that inch is going to carry you. Level 5. The VIP fast lane. The bouncer unclips the rope before you reach it. Doesn't check a list. Doesn't ask a name. He sees your face, does some quiet math, and the velvet rope just opens, like the building agreed about you before you walked up. Inside, a bartender slides a drink across that you never ordered. From the 2 girls at the end, he says, and nods down the bar. And you haven't said 1 word to anyone yet. This is the level where the physical world reorganizes around your face. Lines shorten, prices soften. Rules that apply to other men grow little exceptions when you're standing there. You used to be downstream of attention, waiting for whatever trickled down to you. Now you're standing at the source, and it's pouring, and you didn't turn anything on. You just walked in. Then a woman you met 20 minutes ago looks at you dead serious and says, "I'd follow you anywhere." Anywhere. She doesn't know where you're from. She doesn't know your last name. She has decided something about you that has nothing to do with you. She's looking at your face and seeing a story she already wanted to believe, and she's casting you in the lead. She doesn't like you. She likes the screen, and you're what's playing on it. Remember that sentence. That sentence is the whole rest of your life. You just can't hear it yet. So you run an experiment, because some broke, ignored part of you needs to. At dinner with a group, you say something genuinely, certifiably stupid. A bad take. A joke that doesn't land. And the table laughs, like you're Chappelle. Then, minutes later, you say something actually sharp, something you're proud of. Same laugh. Identical volume. The needle doesn't move. And it hits you with a cold little drop in your stomach. You can no longer tell if you're funny or if you're just hot. The instrument is broken. The feedback signal every human uses to know who they are. Disconnected and replaced with applause that arrives no matter what you do. So you push it. You float an opinion you know is wrong just to see if anyone pushes back. Just to feel the friction of one person disagreeing with you. Nobody does. The silence where the disagreement should be is the loneliest sound you have ever heard. Across the room, Marcus is here too. And the moment you pass him, he switches sides. Tonight he comes over to you. Pulls you into his group. Says your name to people like it's worth something. Name drops you to a girl. The man who called you the coat check now wants to be seen standing next to you. The inversion you were promised is already underway. And it tastes like exactly nothing. You check your phone out of old habit. There's no scene to refresh anymore. Everyone replies in seconds now, breathless. And the strangest thing happens. You miss the wait. You got everything you asked for at the door. And you can't trust a single yes that comes through it. So you start asking the question you'll regret asking. What's actually underneath all of this? Level 6. The holistic fit swindle. 3 perfect dates with a woman, and she ends it with a sentence you cannot decode. I just don't think we're a holistic fit. You nod like that means something. It does not mean something. You go home and turn it over like a coin in a foreign currency. Holistic fit. There was no fight, no bad night. The dates were good. She said they were good. She laughed. She stayed late. And then a phrase from a wellness brochure ended the whole thing, and you've just been swindled by a word you can't even define. This is the level nobody prepares you for, because it's the opposite of every problem you've ever had. For years, the rejection was simple. Not enough. Not fit enough, not interesting enough, not chosen. You knew that pain. You could work on that pain. This one is new, and there's no gym for it. You start noticing what women actually do on the first date now. They narrate the entire relationship before dessert. Where you'd live, the wedding, 2 kids and their names. She has names ready. The dog, a golden, obviously. She builds the whole future in the first 90 minutes, and you slowly understand you're not on a date. You're auditioning for a role in a movie she wrote before she met you. You're a casting choice. The man is optional. The myth is the part. Remember that too. The myth was always going to be the part. Then the games start. Not big ones. Small, manufactured ones. A woman invents a little drama to see if you'll chase. Goes cold to see if you'll warm her back up. Tests you constantly against rules nobody handed you in a game you got drafted into the second your face crossed the line. You spend a whole season just trying to read the room. And here's the beat that closes the loop on everything you used to be. A woman ghosts you for 6 weeks. Vanishes, dead silence. Then resurfaces at 1 a.m. with, "Hey, stranger," a smiley face, like she just stepped out for a second. The scene timestamp that ruled your entire 22nd year has 0 power over her. She treats your attention as a renewable resource. There's always more where that came from. She'll refill later. You used to refresh that timestamp 11 times in the dark. Now it's being done to you by women running the exact game you taught yourself at the wedding. The wheel came all the way around. So you do the one thing nobody does. You call the holistic fit woman and ask her straight. What did that actually mean? To her credit, she's honest. A pause then. Honestly? Nothing. You were just almost too much. It didn't feel real. It felt like dating an idea. Too much. Not too little. Too much. 2 things are true at the same time and they cancel nothing. You finally became more than enough. And more than enough is its own kind of alone, because people don't fall in love with an idea. They admire it from a safe distance, and then they go home to someone they can actually hold. You've stopped being a man-women reject. You've become a concept they approach and retreat from. And concepts don't get loved. They get managed. So you go looking for one person. Just one. Who wants the man, not the idea? That's exactly when a screen finds you first. Level 7. The algorithm catalyst. Someone films you ordering coffee, and by Thursday 2.3 million people have watched it. You didn't do anything. You said medium oat, thanks, you paid. You stood there waiting like a human being. Somebody pointed a phone, posted it, and overnight your face stopped belonging to you. Strangers know your coffee order now. They quote it back to you on the street. A guy you've never met leans out of a moving car and screams your coffee order at you like a war cry. That's the fame, not a trophy. A stranger in traffic yelling medium oat at your head. Your face became content. And the thing about content is that it belongs to everyone except the person it's a picture of. The DMs come in like a tide with no low point. Hundreds, then thousands. Women you will never meet send you paragraphs about a relationship you are not in. The life you'd have. What you mean to them. What you did to them just by existing on their screen. And every one of them is staring at the same little word, waiting on it, refreshing it. Seen. Sit with that. You are now the slot machine. The exact machine you fed at 22, refreshing one girl's scene, 9:14 p.m. 11 times in the dark. You are that machine now, for thousands of people. They check the timestamp. They wait on the pull. You became the thing that ignored you at industrial scale completely by accident. Strangers start fighting each other in your comments over who understands the real you. None of them have met you. You watch two women argue for 40 replies about what you meant in a 15-second clip, and it lands that you've become a Rorschach test with a jawline. Everybody sees whatever they showed up needing to see. And the cruelest joke is what it does to the one real thing. Because you find her. Someone normal. Someone who did not find you through a screen. Met you the old way, in a room, before she knew the number under your name. And the date is the best night you've had in a year. She argues with you. She doesn't laugh at the unfunny thing. She makes you feel like a person and not a poster. And you forgot that feeling. The friction of someone treating you like a man with edges. You get photographed together leaving the restaurant. By morning, there are comments under her face. About her body, her teeth, whether she's even that pretty. Whether she's using you, what number she is in a long line. People she's never met dissecting her in public for the crime of standing next to you. And a few days later, she pulls back, gently, with no anger in it at all. She just says, I can't be a side character in your thing. And she's right. That's what guts you. She's completely right. The same attention that makes everyone want you is the exact thing that made one good night impossible. You lose the only real one because of the noise, not in spite of it. The flood that fills your DMs is the same flood that drowned the one message that ever mattered. Then your phone buzzes and it's a name you haven't thought about in years. Marcus. ADM? Friendly? Casual? With no idea who you used to be to him. Hey man, huge fan of what you're doing. Any chance you could introduce me to your audience? Trying to grow my thing. The guy who let a door swing into a girl's shoulder and called you the venue's furniture is now asking, politely, for permission to stand in your light. He wants through your door. You wanted this inversion your whole life. Here it is. It feels like holding a trophy in an empty room. You can have anyone watching now. You can't get one person to stay. And something is starting to form around you. Bigger than dating, bigger than the DMS. People are beginning to organize themselves around your attention, like it's something you're supposed to lead. Level 8. The threat to public safety. You walk into a venue now, and you can feel the whole room change temperature. Phones come up. The energy tilts toward the door like a floor that isn't level. A small ripple of disturbance follows you across the space. Heads turning, your name passed mouth to mouth, somebody already filming. You're not a guy arriving at a party anymore. You're a logistics problem the staff have a plan for. There's a back route. There's a manager who knows. Your presence is something rooms have to be prepared for. A woman meets you and starts crying. Not sad crying. Overwhelmed. She's shaking your hand and having a genuine emotional event about a person she has never spoken to. And you're standing there holding feelings you didn't cause and can't give back. You say something kind. It doesn't help. You're suddenly responsible for emotions that have nothing to do with anything you've ever actually done. So you try to go backwards. You try to be human for one night. You pick a bar on a Tuesday, A normal bar. A quiet one. The kind of place that ignored you completely at 22. You just want to stand somewhere ordinary and maybe, if it comes up, hold a door for someone. Be the guy who held the door again. That guy was invisible, but at least he was real. It becomes an incident. Someone clocks you. Then 10 people do. A phone gets shoved 6 inches from your face. A girl is screaming. Actually screaming. The crowd compresses and the staff you didn't ask for materialize at your elbows and walk you out a side door into an alley for your own safety. The exact kind of bar that couldn't be bothered to see you at 22 now physically cannot contain you. You came in for a 2-for-1 Tuesday and left through the kitchen like a man entering witness protection. Sit in that. You wanted in. You spent everything getting through the door. And now you can't walk through a normal one without being extracted. In the alley, catching your breath, a woman who followed you out says the quiet part with total sincerity. "I'd do anything," she says. "Anything you want. Just tell me." No condition. No exchange. A blank check, signed, handed to a man she does not know. It should feel like winning. It feels like looking down into water and not finding the bottom. Because here's what finally lands, standing in that alley. This isn't desire anymore. Desire wants you. Your jokes, your mornings, your actual edges. This is belief. And belief doesn't want to date you. Belief wants to be told what to do. Every "I'd follow you anywhere" you've collected since that velvet rope was the same sentence, practicing for this moment. They aren't asking you out. They're asking you to lead. And at the edge of the crowd you catch one familiar face. Marcus. Older now, ordinary, the effortless thing long gone soft around him. He's in the group photo at the back, angling himself into the frame, tagging himself in your light, hoping a little of it lands on him. The coat check has a coat check now. You're standing one decision away from becoming something much bigger and much more dangerous than a good-looking man. And some broke 22-year-old buried inside you. The one nobody thanked for holding the door. He's been waiting his entire life for someone to follow him anywhere. He's about to say yes. Level 9. The cult leader. There's a room now. 200 women, and they came for you. It started as a video about how you live. Then a community. Then a waitlist that filled a rented hall. Not to date you. That's behind you, somewhere back around the rope in the alley. These women reorganize their lives around your attention. A word from you lands on one of them and changes their entire week. What they wear, what they believe, who they stop speaking to. You have, finally, exactly what the kid holding the door wanted at 22. So you decide to test it. The way you tested it years ago at that dinner with a group, when you said something dumb just to see if the laugh was real. You float a genuinely bad idea to the room. A sloppy one. Wrong, and you know it's wrong. They don't laugh. They write it down. The broken feedback signal from all those years ago. The one that couldn't tell you if you were funny or just hot. It never got fixed. It grew. It's a building now, and there are 200 women inside it, transcribing your worst thought like scripture. A woman in that room quits her job and leaves her partner that same month. You find out later it was because you'd said, offhand, to no one in particular, that you respect people brave enough to burn the safe thing down. You didn't mean her. You didn't mean anyone. A sentence you'd forgotten by lunch rearranged a stranger's entire life. The thing you begged the universe for at 22. To carry that kind of weight with a woman. And now it terrifies you because you cannot put it down. Then the line forms to talk to you, the way lines form now. And near the back of it, waiting his turn like everybody else, is Marcus. Older, plain, patient. He knows the famous man. Everyone does now. But he's forgotten the door. Never connected the two. You can tell. He just says, a little nervous, "You probably don't remember me." You remember the coat check. You remember Were You the Venue, and the laugh, and her laughing too, and the 40 seconds, and the cold walk home where all of this started. You say nothing about it. You shake his hand. He waited in a line to get through you, and it feels like exactly nothing. The way you always somehow knew it would. That night you do the one thing you have left. You scroll back, far back to her. The real one, the side character one from the restaurant. The last person alive who wanted the man and walked away from the myth. You type something honest. You send it. Seen. No reply. There it is. The one red receipt left in the entire world that still means something. And it's the one you cannot make change. 200 women will do anything you say. She won't answer a text. Both true. Neither cancels the other. You wanted them to line up to get through you. They do. Right now, out that door, they are lining up. And you finally understand the joke the cold walk home was telling you 15 years ago. You became the door, the one everybody wants through. And you're still the one holding it open. Only now there's nobody left on your side of it but you. If this one stayed with you, like and drop a comment with where you're watching from. Subscribe for more.